Guys, there are little things that we don't pay attention to, but they count because they can end up staining our person, our personality, and how others view us. In this video, I'll be talking about those little things that would make you a perfect guest, the one everyone wants to have around them and in their homes over and over again. Without further ado, let's go straight into the video. The first tip in becoming a perfect guest is to keep to time. It shows you respect them, you maintain your self-respect, and they believe you the next time you say you are coming. And also, they can make plans for the important guest, you. And I know circumstances can change, things can happen. Just ensure that you communicate that early, as soon as you realize, and not at the last minute. The second tip on becoming the perfect guest is to go with gift. This shows that you thought about your host and you appreciate the plans, the sacrifices, the adjustments, or whatever they have made in receiving you. You don't have to break the bank for this, and I mostly advise that you go with something tangible that even when you are not there, it reminds you of the visits to them. So it's just like you planting yourself in their home for remembrance sake. You could go with a flower vase, you could go with a children's toy if they've got kids, and so on. Even the children would want you to come to their home every time. So gifting is a good way to show you care and you are excited to be there. The third tip in becoming a perfect guest is to be helpful. I mean, you should not add extra burden to your host. Your presence has cost them extra adjustments, catering for you. Just an extra person in their house is enough. And of course, your host house is not a hotel where you expect the top tier services while you fold your legs and give commands, expecting yourself to be taken care of. Assist in the little way you can. It could be a meal prep or just assisting with the dishes, pruning the flowers, and so on. Even if your host disagrees like thoroughly, you can just be there physically to converse with them, appreciate them, or just make your presence known. That way, they don't feel alone. The fourth tip on becoming the perfect guest is to ask and observe. Don't assume anything when you are visiting someone for the first time or you are an occasional visitor. Different people have different ways they rule their homes. Some people are not okay with you walking their hallway with your footwear. Also, ensure you don't keep asking the same questions. It is annoying. And there are just sometimes that you have to observe so that you ask the right questions. Don't go about asking the obvious ones, of course. And most importantly, don't wander around in people's houses, opening their fridge or their freezers without being asked to, going into their closet, or being everywhere in the house. It starts to speak annoyance, to be honest. 5. Some of you don't genuinely know this, but you should always clean up after yourself when you are in someone's house, even if you don't do it in your house. When you make a spill, wipe it. Make your bed. You are not in a hotel. Do your dishes after you eat, of course. And please flush the toilet. Keep it clean as you have met it. And ensure that you return things to order. If you've picked something from somewhere, ensure that you replace it there as you have met it. It is very polite, and your host does not feel inconvenienced trying to, make up for your lapses. And another important thing is to report any damages that you have made. So in case you spoil something, rather than leaving it and making it look like it's still intact, it is very appreciated that you inform your host. I know this thing sounds like, oh my god, am I in prison? I'm just visiting someone. But even if you are sharing a boss space with someone, there are just some things you have to do in a social setting where you respect other people's boundary and where your presence is going to be missed. You don't want to be the person that people don't want to have anything to do with, like you visiting them, for example. So ensure that you keep these things to heart when next you're visiting someone. And if you've experienced someone avoiding you from visiting them because you've messed up in a way and you've realized it, I think you could call them, make an apology and say, I am a different person, give me another chance. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next video next week. Do not forget to share, subscribe, like and comment. Bye.